Okay, so this is Uncensored Conservatism, episode 177, and it's really kind of hard to believe that we are only going into 5 weeks of the Trump presidency in what seems like 4 years. But let's take a look back at week 4, shall we? Starting with, so either Trump is like the most genius person ever to set foot in the White House, or he's the greatest internet troll to ever occupy the White House. Take your pick there. The level of teeth gnashing on the left is a beautiful thing to behold. I mean, these assholes are just completely befuddled. And the Democrats, they just keep falling for the shit, hook, line, and sinker. Do you know how bad it is for the Democrats right now? They are literally protesting cutting government waste, fraud, and abuse. That's right. Our first fascist president, Donald J. Trump, is the first fascist to actually reduce the size of government. Does it make any fucking sense to you? And the people doing it are no so-called experts, which is exactly what the government needed, outsiders to run things, because quite frankly, the insiders, the experts, the elite, kind of fuck things up. So we have RFK Jr. confirmed over at Health and Human Services, and Tulsi Gabbard is now the DNI, and now Kash Patel at the FBI. And just like that. They don't want any more investigations. This is going to be one interesting period in American history when this guy gets up to speed. You thought heads were exploding now? Just you wait. Of course, Elon Musk's Doge continues their rampage through the federal government, and the left's disdain for you, the taxpayer, is showing through loud and clear. All those staffing cuts, what a bunch of couch potato crybabies in their basement with their little computers doing remote work. I got a suggestion. Why don't you get a real fucking job? I mean, did you ever think you'd see the day when the IRS of all federal agencies would be so protected by a political party? I mean, I'm talking about the I-fucking-RS. Excuse me. IRS, of course. They can't deny the waste and the fraud, so instead they attack the messenger. Well, at least they are consistent with their hypocrisy. I mean, seriously, I think Fauci, an unelected and actually quite rich unelected bureaucrat, did more harm to this country in a shorter amount of time than Elon Musk, who, by the way, is not taking a cent from the government, will ever do. So this is funny. Some probationary employees were let go, and apparently now no one can take a shit at Yosemite National Park or something like that. I don't understand it. I mean, seriously, the media ran with the story because some National Park Service dude at Yosemite controls the bathroom keys. I mean, I got an idea. Why not let someone else have the keys, or maybe make more keys? I don't know. Anyone is going to break into a bathroom in the dead of night at Yosemite. And by the way, when I hear Yosemite, I think of this guy. I mean, how many pencil pushers moving papers from one side of a desk to another when they show up for work do we need to pay? Oh yeah, I think it was Rand Paul or somebody suggested Doge look into that $500 billion worth of gold kept at Fort Knox. And there's no truth to the rumor that Musk hired Geraldo Rivera. Anyway, but in all seriousness, no one's actually audited that place since like 6 years ago or something, and maybe they should just look into it. Then there's that so-called controversy with the Associated Press over the naming of the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America, if you prefer. So the Redskins are the Commanders, and the Cleveland Indians became the Guardians, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. And Land O'Lakes, Aunt Jemima, and they took the Indian off Land O'Lakes, and Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben's rice. That was just racist. And we've gone from 2 sexes or genders to I don't know how many there are now. Yeah, Associated Press. Okay, so if that's a woman as claimed and referred to in your articles, I think the Gulf of America is the least of the worries of the Associated Press. But it's a downright constitutional crisis, folks. The Associated Press isn't allowed into the Oval Office for certain things, and now they have to sit in the coach section on Air Force One. Oh, boo-hoo. Personally, I think Trump should go a little bit further with the name changes. If we can go from two sexes to an alphabet soup of genders or sexes, whatever you want to call them, I mean, why not? Meanwhile, the immigration enforcement efforts have kind of cooled down. Notice the media not saying much of that of late, but trust me, that's going to change in the coming weeks. So expect to see some weeping kids on television. Yeah. Mitch McConnell announced he's not running for re-election in 2026. It really came as no surprise, and no one will actually miss this guy. On the international front, it seems the knickers of some leftist outlets are twisted, also over Elon Musk. Of course, they had no problems with another billionaire dabbling in European politics not that very long ago. Oh, that's right, it was one of their billionaires, I forgot. And I honestly think J.D. Vance broke Europe when he told them off to their faces about the reality of modern Europe. How dare he lecture us? Seriously, when some dude closed the Munich Security Conference, he actually started to cry at one point. Yep, free speech is alive and well in Europe, folks. This is an actual headline from Germany. You know what's alive and well in the United States? The Second fucking Amendment. But here's what it's all about, folks. The world order Europe envisions is their own countries being overrun by Muslim terrorists and sucking on America's tit when it comes to security. Listen, if they want to usher in World War III, go for it, because we know all the usual suspects. And this should do the trick with those filthy Palestinians over there in Gaza. Just play a loop of Amy Schumer or something. And it's good to see that the world's about to explode in a fireball pretty soon. It seems like people like this little retard, but that's an insult to retards, is being listened to less and less these days. Oh yeah, in Second Amendment news, the New York Times actually ran this editorial. By the way, the answer is no. And that leftist rag, The Atlantic, took a deep dive into whether there is racial inequality when it comes to sleep. What does that even mean? Oh, yeah. Wait, here's the article's subtitle. So, thank God it was behind a paywall and I saved myself the agony of having to read that drivel. I mean, personally, I think we need a government-paid study to look into this public health crisis, folks. Okay, so back to Kash Patel and the FBI. It seems he ordered 1,500 FBI personnel out of D.C. to field offices around the country and elsewhere, so maybe people can speak their minds at a school board meeting in Virginia these days. That's what cracks me up about the Democrats and, their projection, basically. And finally, because I can't really resist, one more Second Amendment shout out. And that's it. Remember to exercise your constitutional right to bear arms, and have a great day and a more pleasant tomorrow.